Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Movies with Mia. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Mia Tiffany, and here we are watching the greatest classic films throughout history. Today, we are continuing our Noirvember series with the film Sweet Smell of Success. First things first, I'd like to shout out my Golden Oscar patrons. Guys, thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And if you're interested in exclusive MWM content, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. Sweet Smell of Success was released in 1957, directed by Alexander McKendrick, starring Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis, with other notable performances by Susan Harrison, Martin Milner, Sam Levine, Barbara Nichols, and Jeff Donnell. Alright guys, at this point we're going to get into some historical context. For those of you who want to jump right onto the film reaction, go for it. But for those of you who want to stay, we're going to get right into it. The Sweet Smell of Success was originally written by the great Ernest Lehman. Lehman was inspired to create this story after his time working with celebrity press agent Irving Hoffman of The Hollywood Reporter in the late 1930s. He had seen and partaken in the nasty world of celebrity gossip and decided that it would make a pretty good novel. Which actually I think it would, just his stories. Anyway, the idea was to create a book from his experiences, so Lehman set out to do just that. However, he quickly realized that he was not going to finish a full-fledged novel. Instead, he had enough material that he had already written to create 2 short stories, which he later titled Hunsaker Fights the World and It's the Little Things That Count. Now, these 2 short stories were released via Collier's and Cosmopolitan, respectfully. Now, after the success garnered by the 2 short stories, Lehman decided to create a single, more realized novelette, which he later titled Sweet Smell of Success. Now, the novelette fully appeared in a 1950 issue of Cosmopolitan, where the title was changed from The Sweet Smell of Success to Tell Me About It Tomorrow. And the reason for this was because the editors at Cosmo did not like the idea of having a short story or a story in their magazine with the word smell in it, so they decided to change the title for that particular issue. Later on, the independent production company Hecht Hill Lancaster started optioning for the film rights to Sweet Smell of Success. Hecht Hill Lancaster had also signed on director Alexander McKendrick, who was an American-born Scottish director, most known for his films with Ealing Studios, such as The Lady Killers in 1955, which, side note, I have seen and it is hilarious, and I do recommend. McKendrick had actually fallen on hard times in the mid-1950s at Ealing and began looking for work in the United States. And he signed with Hecht Hill Lancaster with the intention of directing the film adaptation of the stage play by George Bernard Shaw, which was The Devil's Disciple. Unfortunately, though, for McKendrick, that project never moved past pre-production, and so he wanted out of his contract. But Hecht of HHL, which was Harold Hecht, refused that and instead gave him Sweet Smell to direct. At some point in pre-production of Sweet Smell, Ernest Lehman did express his interest in directing the film, obviously because he had written, the screenplay, he'd written it, but he was dealing with a lot of medical issues, specifically gastrointestinal issues, so he had to back out of the project. Now, once McKendrick was signed on as a director, he was hesitant to direct a film that was so dialogue heavy, so he suggested playwright Clifford Odets, or Audits, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but you guys can let me know in the comments, to help give the script a more cinematic feel. When it came time to cast the film, Tony Curtis had to fight hard for the role of Cindy Falco, because his home studio, which was Universal at the time, believed that it would be a career-shattering move for him. And McKendrick originally wanted Orson Welles in the role of J.J. Hunsaker, and also he optioned for Hume Cronin, but the studio distributing the film, which was United Artists, they insisted that it be Burt Lancaster because of his box office appeal, but also because of the chemistry that he showed with Tony Curtis in their previous film titled Trapeze. Once casting was set and once everything was put into motion, principal photography for The Sweet Smell of Success began in late 1956, with an air of uneasiness on set. I say this because McKendrick was constantly worried that he would just up and be fired on the spot, because HHL had a reputation of just firing their directors for no apparent reason. And then also that feeling of uneasiness grew due to the fact that Burt Lancaster had sort of a short fuse on set. He was, I wouldn't say he had like a temper issue, but he just had a short fuse. So, you know, everyone wanted to make sure that he was like taken care of. And then I also read that he was also very critical of McKendrick's decisions as director. He constantly, you know, had like a question or like a fight back. So there was sort of that like tension between them. It wasn't to the point where it was like hostile, but there definitely was tension there. And then on top of those anxieties, the filming location also gave McKendrick a bit of worry and unease because they were filming in New York City, and specifically in densely populated areas with a lot of noise and a lot of people moving constantly. I think there was one story about how they were filming in the middle of Times Square during rush hour. So there's just all of these little things happening on set that really heightened the sort of uneasiness of, you know, just being on set and filming the project. However, McKendrick used a lot of this sort of anxiety to fuel the sort of themes of the film. He used it to his advantage, which I thought was, you know, very creative of him. Now, once filming wrapped, there was a pre-screening that was released to audiences, and it was met with actual disdain. People did not like the film. They didn't like the fact that, you know, actors who were used to playing like more happy, cheery characters were kind of playing more like intense characters. They didn't like that. Basically, the film was ahead of its time. And at the box office, it was actually considered a failure. However, critically, it was received favorably. Now, this sentiment actually went all the way to the awards season, where in 1957, it was actually snubbed at the Oscars. It wasn't nominated for any awards, or any Oscar awards anyway. And I feel like a lot of people in this film had felt some type of way about it. However, in 1993, Sweet Smell was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. With that being said, this is my first time watching The Sweet Smell of Success, and I cannot wait to get into it. But before we do, guys, y'all know the deal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. All right, everyone, it is time to grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and let's get in to The Sweet Smell of Success.
Come in here, come on!
It's Tony Curtis. God, this restoration is beautiful. J.J. Hunsucker. Look at Burt Lancaster. What a babe. I'm not gonna lie, he's so handsome.
Just a minute, Mr. Weldon. I think
No, not today.
it's the third time he's called today. I told him you were sure the item would be in Mr. Hunsucker's column in tomorrow's paper.
It isn't.
That makes 5 days in a row Mr. Hunsucker's cut you out of.
May I rent you out as an adding machine?
Pay the rent and tell the tailor to wait.
I am just enjoying the cinematography of this already. It's so stellar. And then with the restoration, it looks beautiful.
Joe, it's Sidney. How do you like this? I'm running out of alibis.
You're a liar, Sidney.
You're a liar.
Oh, I wouldn't hire you if you wasn't a liar. You are a personal liar, too, because you don't do the work that I pay you for.
The panning gives the scene dimension. I mean, it also shows us more of the set, too. Fantastic.
I wish I could help in some way, Sidney.
Open your meaty, sympathetic arms.
Sidney, you got me so I don't know what to...
Well, I'm no hero. I'm nice to people where it pays me to be nice.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's straight up jazz for you.
Don't you get messages, Eyelashes? I called you twice.
Eyelashes? He does have some nice eyelashes.
You know Susie Hunsucker, JJ's sister?
Has she been in? I mean, lately. Find out for me.
Nephew doesn't want to drink. The kid's only great. With 10% of his future, you're great too, Frank.
So this is the guitarist that's dating Hunsucker's sister.
I think maybe you lied to me. I thought you said that your boy was washed up with Susie Hunsucker. You're my own sister's son, but where does that give you the right to call me a liar? You better be telling me the truth. I told you what I know, now go make yourself a holiday.
So they're still going together. This does feel like a classic noir.
You're walking around blind, Frank, without a cane.
Thank you very much on behalf of the quintet. Chico Hamilton, Fred Katz, Paul Horncutt.
Very interested in music, in jazz.
Oh, she's pretty.
What's the answer?
Steve, I'll try to make you a good wife.
Dallas, is he around?
He's around somewhere.
He's around.
You haven't told him yet.
I'm telling him in the morning at breakfast.
It reminds me of the scene in Dirty Dancing when Johnny's like, "Baby, when are you gonna tell your dad I'm your guy?"
I have a message for you. I love you.
Sweet.
Hi.
Come on, Susie. It's cold out here.
Let me apologize for getting you a press spread. It's been an honor serving you gratis. You know...
Boys, what are you fighting about?
You know, I feel too good to fight with you, but that isn't what I said. The next time you want any information, don't scratch for it like a dog. Just ask for it like a man.
Ooh, those are fighting words.
Going home, Susie. I'll drop you off.
Okay, dialogue is on point in this movie. I'm here for it.
Don't tell me you've been playing around with Leo Bartha.
I'm being fired for what I didn't do.
Were you interviewed?
In his apartment.
What did you expect he was going to do in his apartment?
Didn't he? Do you think he could do something? Do you still keep your key under the mat? I wish you and Steve could like each other.
He thinks JJ is some kind of a monster.
Do you think JJ really likes Steve?
He seems like he's some kind of a monster. And why is he trying to break him up? He doesn't. Steve seems like a really nice guy.
You feel pretty strong about Dallas, don't you? Wedding bells?
I'm discussing it with JJ in the morning. It makes me feel good to know that some people want me for myself. I hope JJ likes Steve.
Why should he put on an act for him?
The act would be for my sake.
She is not letting Steve go. I feel like there's a bit of selfishness on Sydney's part for trying to break them up purely because of his career, but it's kind of JJ's fault because JJ's making it hard for him. Tony Curtis is so handsome.
Susie, don't sell your brother short. Talk this over.
Oh my.
You'll find them a real friend.
I kind of like, I'm understanding the appeal of filming in a heavily populated area now.
You had to do something for me. You didn't do it.
Could I come in for a minute?
No, you're dead, son. Get yourself buried.
Oh my god, ew. He's scary.
Mac. Yes? I don't want this man at my table. I've got a message from your sister.
Okay, sorry. Can we just really quickly talk about this shot right here? It looks menacing. Like he does not play.
Well, I don't think we caught your name, young man.
Sidney Falco, sir.
This young lady is Miss Linda James. She's managed by Manny Davis.
Everyone knows Mary Davis.
Oh my god, he's so scary. Even in the way that he moves is slow.
What exactly are the unseen gifts of this lovely young thing that you manage?
Actually, I'm still studying it.
What subject?
Singing, of course.
You might, for instance, be studying politics.
Me with my Jersey City brains.
The brains may be Jersey City, but the clothes are trained in Norell.
Are you an actor, Mr. Falco?
He's a hungry press agent and fully up to all the tricks of his very slimy trade.
No consideration for the fact that the man you're talking about is sitting right next to you.
Exactly how does a press agent work?
The columnists can't do without us. You see, we furnish him with items. That's the only reason the poor slobs pay you, to see their names in my column all over the world. Look, Manny, you rode in here on the senator's shirt tail, so shut your mouth.
Why is it that everything you say sounds like a threat?
You're a family man, Harvey, and someday, God willing, you may want to be president. And here you are, where any hep person knows that this one is toting that one around for you.
Oh, to like, I got it. He's like, I see right through you. Because he's a senator and she's a pretty little lady.
President.
Hello, J.J.
Bill?
Police car, 16th precinct, attention.
Anything fit for me to print tonight?
Yeah, quiet everywhere.
Harry, say hello to Sidney Falco. Tickle him a little. He's been a bad boy tonight. I remember once when you didn't quite put things together.
Boy, was the mayor mad.
It's like he knows how to get under people's skin and he knows how to like see people's weaknesses or like their tells. And I feel like he kind of uses that against them sometimes, maybe.
That's when a fella really needed a friend. And I won't forget his initials, J.J.
I love this dirty town. Susie's all I've got. Now she's growing up, I want my relationship with her to remain at least at par.
Sidney, I got a nasty little problem here. Look, I'm the first to admit it didn't gel as fast as we'd like. Well, why all of a sudden can't I get you on the phone?
I also read that McKendrick had them put like a thin layer of Vaseline on the glasses so that Lancaster can have sort of like a dead stare where he can't focus on anything, but to further his character, which I think is great.
I don't like this job. That boy has got a head. What I mean, we got a slippery, dangerous problem here.
Not we,
Yeah.
Sidney. You.
Stop beating me on the head. Let me make a living.
What you promised, do it. Don't finagle around.
Excuse me,
I
JJ.
feel
It's
like
later
it's
than you think that boy
It's
proposed
selfish
to
of
her.
JJ to ask him to do this.
Uh-huh.
What was her answer?
She'll discuss it with you at breakfast.
Don't be a two-time loser, Sidney. The penalty could be severe.
The penalty could be severe. He is incredibly terrifying.
Hello, Leo. I read the Sunday piece on cigarette girls.
Who told you about it?
A cigarette girl.
Cigarette girl.
I wonder maybe you can use a hot little item for tomorrow's column.
What is this, blackmail?
Beat it.
I like how his face changed when he said blackmail. You really can tell that this world is very, like, murky. There's a lot of, like, shady stuff that happens.
What's your first name?
Sidney, I actually sat down to give Leo an item. I don't print blind items. He likes to use the real names.
Oh no. That is actual blackmail.
Waiter, the check. You want to tell my wife something? What? Wants me to print a dirty little smear item.
About what?
Oh, against Dallas.
I hope you'll understand it.
He was with a cigarette girl.
Cigarette girl. I'm just sorry, that's all. You tell him for me he's a disgrace to his profession.
What you do now, Mr. Falco, is crow like a hen. This is the first clean thing I've seen you do in years.
Yeah, you think about like tabloids today and or like paparazzi and they're just trying to like get a quick buck off of celebrities. But it shows the inner workings of it. It's interesting.
I see Martha gave you cold tongue for supper. By the way, what's this I hear about J.J. giving you the flit gun treatment to shut you out of his column?
Look,
Wait a
Otis,
minute.
if you're trying to blow this ball into an item for your column, forget it.
He's like the gag. You got him for a friend. You don't need an enemy.
You're full of human feelings.
Turn the record over, Sidney. I'm bored. I'd go a mile for a chuckle.
They really are painting these guys like kind of sleazy, like sleazeballs, like just trying to make a living on other people's misery and demise, which I guess that's kind of, you know, what they are.
This is how much I'm washed up with Hunsaker. Kid named Dallas. He runs a dinky jazz quintet, but he happens to be keeping company with JJ's sister. It's a real goodie if, like me, you want to clobber JJ.
He's working against JJ. That could be really dangerous for Sydney.
Trouble is, I can't think of a good reason why I should print anything. You give me.
Suppose I introduce you to a lovely reason. It's both good and bad.
Oh no. He's getting into some murky waters.
Say hello to Otis Elwell.
Hello.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
Otis carries a lot of weight with your boss, honey. He's going to tell him not to pay any attention. You know who says about you know what?
She is not happy.
Back?
Yes, you know these business meetings, honey. Always coming up in the middle of the night.
He's gonna leave her there with him?
You can drop me off on your way.
She's like, I'm not staying there for him to do God knows what.
I hate J.J., but not that much at this moment.
Get acquainted. He's an important man.
What am I? A bowl of fruit?
Here's your shoe. There's your coat.
And there's the door.
You need him for a favor, don't you? Didn't you ask me to do something about your job?
You're lousy. A real louse.
Honey, he's going to help you.
But what are you gonna do for him? I don't want a quid pro quo.
How many drinks does it take to put you in that tropical island mood?
Here's mud in your column.
Well, gotta run. See you kids later.
Palm Springs, 2 years ago. Don't tell Sydney.
This is a dirty game, man. Dirty games, dirty favors.
Hello, JJ.
You sound happy, Sidney. Why should you be happy when I'm not?
I think you understand that the Dallas skull is badly dented.
We shall see what we shall see, Sidney. And Sidney, don't use his phone anymore. I have a nervous sister.
It really is like a gang, man. Like he doesn't own New York, but he has that like reputation, that infamous reputation.
You read as you run, don't you?
It's a habit with me.
So what?
But I thought you might have a faint idea how that item originated.
Why me?
Look, there's only 2 men in this town that could be responsible for that smear.
He comes into my office. Look,
Boys,
wise guy.
boys.
Look, if Van Cleef fires your boy, that'll give that liar ring of truth.
And all this because JJ doesn't want his sister to be with him. That's just too complicated for this.
I want to speak to Miss Hunsaker, please.
A smear? What kind of a smear?
Oh God.
We're on our way to the Elysian to dicker with Van Cleef. He's fired us already.
I feel like this is only gonna make his sister want to be with this man more.
If I told Steve what I really think, he'd tear your head off. Tell him I'm interested in his future.
Wow.
This is life. Get used to it.
It's a really murky life. Like, this is all bad. This is just getting messy and hairy. And it's actually kind of hard to keep up with. I'm trying really hard.
Yes?
JJ, I presume you saw the Elwell smear. It's a lot worse than that. Auntie Van Cleef is firing.
Has to do is put 2 and 2 together and I'm a chicken in a pot.
Everything's working out just the way I planned.
You said get him back his job. For what? Maybe the TV about 3 o'clock.
And wait, everything that Sydney's done, has it been to fulfill what JJ wanted? Because I thought at one point he was trying to go against his back. God, this is so hard to follow up on. I'm really trying here. Hopefully I'm getting it right. He has her picture on his desk, which is fine. It could be like a, fatherly thing, but he's just too protective. It's a little strange.
Susie, I don't know this boy too well. You're not being partial, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm taking up the situation with you now.
You've had your say, let me have mine.
But I haven't said anything, JJ.
There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. What do you want me to do? Name
Let her be with Steve.
Get Steve back his job.
He means that much to you.
Yes.
Yes.
Clearly.
This Dallas boy must be good for you.
Why don't you bring him around today before the show?
Does he have like a weird thing with his sister, or he just doesn't want to see her with like anyone else and he just doesn't want to be alone? Probably the latter half of that. But it's kind of like I said, it's selfish of him to do that.
We got that boy coming over here today. Susie knows all about your dirty work.
Please do it my way. You got the boy's job back, okay. But he's not gonna accept your favor. To tell you the truth, I never thought I'd make a killing on some guy's integrity.
You're a cookie full of arsenic.
He's like a good guy. I don't understand why JJ wants to ruin him. It's such an abuse of power.
Steve, you've met my brother?
Of course.
Mr. Hunsaker, there is nothing to the smear.
And now, if I can amplify.
Don't amplify.
JJ just said to keep your mouth shut.
Who are you to tell a man like Frank D'Angelo? Look, shut up.
Now, just what exactly are you so hot about? Just give us the punchline.
Why is he here?
Yeah, why is he here? Yeah, he's like his little lapdog.
JJ,
Look, I was in my... Quiet, all of you. Well, how did you mean it?
Who's the injured party here, you?
No, you have no right to ask questions. And your snide...
Wait a minute. I haven't handed over punishing privileges to you yet.
He cut him off. Oh, this is a standoff now.
Susan Hunsaker's the injured party here.
You're too shrewd for me, so I'll just be honest. You want to get married.
Say exactly what's on your mind, dear.
Those deers sound like daggers. Son, you raise your voice once more.
Please, JJ,
I'm
don't...
sorry, Susie. Son, suppose you just shuffle along and call it a day.
You did it, JJ.
I'd have to take it very much amiss if you ever saw that boy again.
I'll never see him again.
What? Oh my god. JJ gets his way yet again.
That louse is out of Susie's hair for good. I want that boy taken apart.
Why do something that's going to drive them right back into each other's arms?
You just handle the boy. Preferably tonight.
Your fat cop friend.
Give Harry Keller tonight. Oh, he wants to destroy him. He's like, I don't know if I can do all that, man.
Don't remove the gangplank, Sidney. You may want to get back on board.
JJ, I swear to you on my mother's life, I wouldn't do that.
And who do you suppose writes the column while Susie and I are away for 3 months? Thank you, Sidney.
I feel like you're just going to drive your sister away. If you really want what's best for her, you will let her do what she wants to do.
I gather you're trying to say goodbye. Susie, is this really what you want?
My brother's capable of doing a very great harm, and I can't let that happen.
Susie, that's fish 4 days old. I won't buy it.
Please don't.
You gotta fight for your love, baby girl. I don't know what you're doing. Your brother should not have this big of a hold on you.
I won't give you up.
You've got to go. Goodbye, Mr. D'Angelo. Take care of Steve. Say something funny, Mr. Hassenfeld.
If he makes you feel like fireworks, then why do you give him up? Oh my god, I would have half a mind to just run after him. It's insane to me.
Mr. Falco, I hate to give you this satisfaction, but they broke it off tonight for good. Tell that to Hans.
They're gonna try and bust him for like drug possession. But I feel like something is gonna backfire.
What's all the rush? I thought you said 3 o'clock.
He's leaving early right after this set.
I appreciate a thing like this. What's your hurry, son?
Let go of me, Kello.
He does not feel comfortable doing this. He's a dirty rat.
Rest in peace, Kello. You're skinny. But JJ says you're sweat.
Come back, Sidney. I want to chastise you.
Oh god.
Hey, Bella.
Oh my god, the way it was sort of like a drive-by. Oh my god.
There's a phone call for you.
I told you I'm not taking any calls,
Right? I'm toasting my favorite new perfume. Success.
Sorry, kid. She said it was important. The operator at 21 took the message.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
JJ?
Where is JJ?
Mr. D'Angelo phoned about Steve. I went down to the hospital, but they wouldn't let me in. But I gave Steve up. I'm sorry about Steve, not myself. I'm sorry about my brother. Sorry about you too, Sidney. You're going to be the man who drove his beloved little sister to suicide.
Oh my god, oh no!
That body of yours deserves a better fate than tumbling off some terrace.
She's gonna do it.
If I said anything or did anything, get out of here.
Uh-oh. Oh god. What's going on? What's gonna happen?
Take it easy, dear.
JJ, it's lucky I came right over after I got your message.
What message?
Someone called me. Susie was so depressed she tried to kill herself. Because she heard the news about Dallas.
What news about Dallas?
They picked him up on a marijuana rap.
And is that why you put your hands on my sister?
Susie, tell
Because
him
he
the
closed
truth.
the door. No, I don't think I will. Ooh, she's quiet. It's a church mouse.
Tell him!
Oh my god. And he's kicking the crap out of him.
Stop! Didn't you tell me to get Kello? Didn't you?
Oh, he just ruined his entire career. Over.
Just as I know he's lying about your attempted suicide. You know he's lying about me. I suggest you go to bed, dear.
You're growing up. Cute. JJ, you've got such contempt for people, it makes you stupid. You'll never get her back.
Sidney Falco planted that stuff on Dallas.
Oh my God, and he's making him take the fall.
He's leaving right now.
That is so disgusting.
I'm leaving. I'm going to Steve.
You tried to kill yourself tonight.
Yes. I'd rather be dead than living with you.
Wow. And that's his punishment.
For all the things you've done, JJ. I know I should hate you, but I don't.
Ooh, you're about to get your butt kicked. Take him in, boys. I love how now the streets are empty. This sure does have more of almost like a stagey feel to it, like a Broadway show. What a show indeed. You know what? I think that one kind of reminded me in the sense of trying to keep up with it, like The Big Sleep, where I needed a second to really think, because I feel like somewhere in the middle I got lost. Ultimately, I understand that Sidney was JJ's lackey. And so he kind of like was like a pet, like a dog on a leash, did his, his shady biddings for him. So I wasn't surprised at the end when JJ backstabbed him, right? Like I wasn't surprised. But I thought something like more, oh my God, was going to happen. But it ended the way that I think that it needed to end. I can see how audiences at the time might not have liked the film, because with some of the movies coming out in the 50s, a lot of it is like sort of like cookie cutter and like fluffy, and everyone gets a happy ending. And so you get some of these films where it's like noir and it's dark and you don't really have the happy ending that you wanted, but it's sort of, patches itself up. I can see that where people were like, oh, like, I wish there was something more to this. And then seeing Tony Curtis can act, okay? To see his sort of comedic side and then see him do more of a dramatic role. He really has range. And also I wanted to say that Jamie Lee Curtis looks a lot like her dad. She looks like her mom, but she looks like her dad, which is a compliment because Tony is so handsome. But yeah, that was good. And then Burt Lancaster in the role of JJ Hunsaker was incredibly cold. Like he was very cold. The only other thing I've seen Burt Lancaster in thus far is From Here to Eternity. There we go. Thank you. It's, thank you, Mind. It's From Here to Eternity. And that's the only other one I've seen him in. And he had more of like a sort of, well, even that movie had like characters playing roles that weren't normal. Anyway, to see him in that and him have more of the like sergeant, like moral character, although I think he was cheating on his wife, if I remember correctly. Or what? No. The woman was cheating on her husband. Anyway, they were cheating. But apart from that, his character was very high morals. And then to see him here where he's like crooked and shady, like I think he played that really well. And I feel like the glasses were their own character. Whoever idea it was to put glasses on him was a brilliant idea, because I feel like it gave him an edge. Like I imagine him in my mind without the glasses, but I think the glasses gives him more of an edge, like I can think of so many characters and real life people who wear glasses who like they have that sort of edge. I'm thinking like, I know this is crazy, like Jeffrey Dahmer. And then there was the character in Heroes. He was like the dad, and he used to wear like horn rim glasses, and it just gives him that edge. So I think that was fantastic. A fantastic choice creatively. The cinematography of the film was a lot of fun. I love this point in cinema where we get sort of the mix of the classic Hollywood golden era versus the sort of new age where it's more like quick pans, like zoom ins really fast. There was a lot of camera movement in this film, and I think it made it more exciting. I feel like it gave the scenes more depth because you got to see more angles of the production design. And I really appreciated that. And I think that having it set in New York City and during busier moments in New York City helped kind of forward the idea of sort of the shady, gossipy, because you need, like I said, you need people to gossip, right? About, and then to put it in the sort of like entertainment industry adjacent. I think that was a really brilliant, well, obviously because they're like gossip columnists. So of course that's their that's their industry. But I just think it was really well done altogether. I'm so sorry that Alexander McKendrick had all that like anxiety, but it worked for the film. Overall, I really enjoyed this film, guys. Thank you to my patrons for recommending it. And thank you guys so much for watching it with me. All right, everyone, that does it for this video. As always, if you liked it as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you would like to become an official MWMer, then please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to stay in the loop. If you would like to see this film's full reaction, you will find it on my Patreon. Patreon is also where I hold my MWM live watch parties, where we come together and we watch one classic film live via Zoom. If that sounds like any interest to you, then please check out that Patreon link, which is in the description box below. In the next video, we are finishing our Noirvember series with the film Dark Passage. Now, this one I believe is another Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall duo film, and they have fantastic chemistry on screen, so I cannot wait to watch it. If you have not seen Dark Passage, please watch it fully undisturbed with a friend or family member or yourself, and then come back and watch the reaction. I have provided a link of where I bought my physical copy of the movie, as well as where you can stream it online. Both are down in the description. If you have a recommendation for any classic Hollywood film, the best way to get a hold of me is on social media, on Facebook and X at Movies with Mia, and on Instagram and TikTok at Movies with Mia _. If social media is not your jam, fear not, I do have an email. My email is right here, as well as down in the description. And while you're online, why not consider checking out my LetterBoxd account, where I have a documentation of all of the films we've seen on the channel, and it is under the handle at Mamma Mia Tiffany. Now, with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see you, boo, in the next video. Bye, everyone.